everybody, welcome back to another educational bird video to teach you how to care better for your birds. We're back here with Luca, and Luca, since if you guys know my previous video, Luca has been on an all-seed diet for 4 years of his life, and I managed to convert him onto pellets and a chopped diet in only less than 2 weeks. So, for those of you struggling with your picky eater birds, or birds who are refusing to touch pellets, then I'm going to share with you the method that I did in order to get him to try pellets, eat them, and now we're currently in the process of pellets making up about 70% of his daily eat, and then maybe the other 20% is veggies, and then 10% is still seeds. Now this has to be a slow process, especially depending how long they've been on the seed diet, because as you know, seeds are very high in fat, and the high fat content of just giving a seed diet is going to lead to things like obesity, diabetes, fatty liver disease, and it's also going to make them just aggravated and in a bad mood in general. Seeds are like basically eating McDonald's every single day. It's delicious, it's addictive, but long term it's not going to be good. It's going to end up with cardiovascular issues, it's going to end up with a lowered immune system, you're going to gain weight, and you want your birds to be as healthy as possible. So seeds are okay as occasional treats, they're okay for training tools, but they should not be the main composition of their diet, especially if it's a case like Luca, where Luca has no way to get exercise. So not only was he eating McDonald's basically, but he was also just stationary, he wasn't moving around, he wasn't exercising, so that just led him to gain some weight. So for the next video, we are going to be talking about how to help your bird gain or lose weight depending on the situation that you need. But for now, we're just going to talk about the method that I used in order for Luca to be where he is. So switching over your bird to a pellet chop diet has a lot of benefits. In case you guys haven't seen what a proper bird diet is, my video on that, please go check it out so you guys have an idea of what you should be feeding your bird. And this applies to parrots, not just all general birds, and each parrot has a very specific diet that they need. So please do go check out that video. Eating pellets is specially formulated for them to have a balanced amount of protein, fat, minerals, vitamins, amino acids, and all of that good stuff that they need. The vegetable chop every single morning is to give them more of those things and a natural variety. And with the chop recipe that I make, I also add more things to help out, which I will be showing you guys afterwards what they are, and I will be leaving down low my chop recipe that I personally used if you guys want to try it out. When Luca first came here, you had to work on changing his diet immediately. His feather quality was very poor, and yes, you can tell a bird's feather quality, how they grow in, the shininess, how full they are based on their diet. So because he didn't have good nutrients, he wasn't able to grow in his feathers properly. They weren't like shiny, they were very dull, brittle feathers. So now you can see they are a little bit more shinier, but you can definitely see that there are portions in where, they're not fully grown as well if you compare him to kiwi, for example. So we're working on changing that, and soon he will have some very beautiful feathers to show. So first you're going to want to choose a pellet brand. We personally use Supreme Natural Pellets. That is just the brand that I personally like. I find that a lot of birds are very easygoing with it. The only bad thing about them is that they do have some added sugars, but I do find that it's one of the easier and yummier brands to parrots, and honestly, my opinion, it's better that they be on that than, like seed diet. Harrison is another amazing choice. If you can get them to go into Harrison, that would be even better. But please keep in mind that switching them over to their diet has to be a slow process, and it has to take time, especially depending how long they've been on it, because their body gets accustomed to that amount of fat intake, their gut flora gets accustomed to that amount of fat, and though it's not good, you have to slowly change them, because suddenly taking away that high intake of fat can cause them to have kind of withdrawal, and they're going to lack that fat intake. So that's why at the beginning, I gave Luca pellets for 1 meal, and then seeds for the rest, and it became 2 meals, 3 meals, etc. So he's still having seeds at least once a day, but hopefully soon in another week he'll be weaned off that completely and he'll be relying on vegetables and some pellets. So you want to slowly transition them over, get their body used to the new diets, get them dependent more on that diet rather than be craving like that extra fat. It's kind of like comparing it to if you have a high sugar intake and you're trying to cut down on sweets, you're gonna feel like you're not getting enough sweets, your body's gonna be craving it, you're gonna be needing that amount of sweet intake, and you have to do it slowly, because if you suddenly cut off like that sugar intake, then your body's gonna be like, whoa, I don't know how to function without sugar, kind of thing. So you have to slowly get your body used to it. The same goes for parrots. Even if they like pellets the first time that you give it to them, which is really rare, it's still not good to just completely cut out their old diet.
So I use Supreme Natural Pellets, which is this bag over here, and this is Kiwi over here, waiting for me to prepare the pellets. So I grab a sturdy pot, which is this one that I have here, in order to be able to crush the pellets. You can use anything, glass, ceramic, just make sure to avoid plastic because otherwise it won't be crushing. I don't know what this is called in English, but I use this thing to crush it up because it's really heavy, crushes really well. You could also use an old method and put it in a plastic bag to crush it, but that just ends up really messy. Here you can see that I've crushed them up quite finely. You can go finer than this. I just kind of leave it at that so that you can get a sense for the larger full-size pellets. But then after you've crushed this, you're going to want to put it away inside a container for further use so it is well sealed.
Now, luckily for us, Luca was very open to eating the chop recipe that I make, and this was huge because just eating veggies is a huge change from eating seeds, but some birds are very picky about vegetables as well. So if you guys want to see how I make the chop, this isn't a specific chop I use, just chop in general, you can check out my video on that, but I will be leaving the specific recipe I use down below, and other things that you can add to it. But if your bird is not huge on veggies and you're already struggling to get them off seeds onto pellets, and then veggies involved and you tried offering it a few times, that's okay. Just try and mix it into anything they like. So try to avoid mixing it with their seeds. I just find that they pick out the seeds, they completely ignore the pellets in there. Try mixing in rather with maybe some more kind of wet food, so maybe like noodles or rice, or even if you do want to give chop a try and they like eating off your plate, or they're always interested in what you're eating, you could always, when you're having a meal, set to the very side a little like scoop of the chop, or just some veggies or something that you need specifically for them at the side of your plate, and then mix in the pellets so that they feel like, oh, I'm eating something like, a little bit forbidden, and then they're gonna want to try it, and then maybe they'll like it. So anything that works. But for this specific example, we're gonna be using chop. So with the chop recipe that I made, I mixed in the crushed pellets, and I as well always add in hemp hearts, chia seeds, flax seeds, and as well the prime mineral vitamin amino acid powder, because this is as well going to give him a boost on all those things that he has been missing.
So this is our chop. I set aside in a separate bowl where I'm going to be mixing everything together, but that big container is my month's supply of chop for the month. These are the hemp hearts that I add in. I also add in the prime powder. This is very recommended for birds who are malnourished. I as well add in chia seeds, which you see here in this container. I add in the flax seeds, which provide a good amount of omega-3 as well. So now what I do is I pour my crushed pellets into the chop, and I'm just going to be mixing that up. Because this chop is for 3 birds, I add in about 1 to 2 teaspoons of every single hemp heart, chia seed, and flax seed. And for the prime, it is a scoop for my size of bird for each bird you are providing.
So I mix those all in, especially in the morning. I find that the morning is the best time to introduce them to something new. Maybe the first morning they're not gonna want it, but in the morning they wake up really hungry. Don't even show them the seeds, just bring them to eat the vegetables with the crushed pellets, and they're gonna be more willing to eat it, or at least try it, because they're like, oh my god, I'm so hungry, I'm like I'll try this, like, just feed me. I also find that bringing them into a neutral zone is really helpful. So what's a neutral zone? I'm going to be using this term a lot, but a neutral zone I kind of find is a zone where they can't see their cage, they can't see their territory. They're just somewhere like new. Just make sure they're feeling comfortable, like they're not stressed out from being somewhere new, but somewhere that they just can't see like their specific space. It's gonna be more comfortable for them to try something new, because if they're on their cage, they're kind of like accustomed to expecting their seeds, their seed bowl, looking for like what they're already used to. But if it's kind of a neutral zone, then they're gonna be more open to trying out new things, especially if it's kind of like, you know, maybe the dinner table where they see you eat dinner. Anything like that is gonna help out stimulate them wanting to try something new. Stay near them, make sure they feel safe, encourage them, you know, even if you can like, you know, have something that looks like the chop and eat it too with them, like, oh, it's so good kind of thing. We also took Luca out to either our dinner table or our balcony a lot to eat the chop, because he's very much more willing to eat it there. And the point is that, you know, as they're eating through the chop, they're also going to be ingesting the pellets. And because they're ingesting these pellets either accidentally, just by nature, because they can't feel it, touch it, or anything, they're going to already be accustomed to that taste. So when you want to introduce them to the actual pellets without them being crushed, they're going to be more comfortable with it, and they're already going to kind of know what it is. So they're going to associate it kind of with the chop that they already like, or whatever food that you're mixing it in with. So it isn't going to be kind of like a new shocking taste. They're going to be like, oh, you know, this is familiar, you know, I'm pretty sure I like this. So that's kind of what we did with Luca. We tried every single day after doing his chop to offer him some pellets, again in a neutral zone, so he's not expecting his seeds anywhere. And you know what? First time we did this, he ate, you know, he put one in his mouth, he kind of tasted it, and he was like, I don't know. Next day we did it, he actually ate one whole pellet, then he was done. Then the next day we did it, he ate a few more pellets, and he was like, I'm done. And then afterwards, he was willing to eat pellets. And then every day it increased more and more and more. So keep in mind, not everybody may be progressing as quickly as Luca did. Every bird progresses in their own state, especially depending how long they were on a seed diet, how little other food they were exposed to, how comfortable they are with you. There's a lot of factors that can contribute to how long this may take. But with Luca, we managed to do it under 2 weeks, where he's almost completely on a full pellet diet and chop diet. And we also found that it also helped, you know, hand feeding him these pellets. It helped with their bonding, it helped with him getting to eat the pellets, even if I had to go one by one, feeding it to him in his mouth. He was accepting it, he was eating it, you know, kind of crunching it around. At first it was a little hard for him to bite through it, kind of get comfortable with it, but then afterwards, you know, he's starting to speed up how he eats it. Now what we do is that we switch out his seed bowl for pellets, we leave it on his cage. If we really see that he's not eating the pellets on his cage, we bring him back his seed bowl, but we try and bring him out for meal times to a neutral zone where he can be eating the pellets. And of course, like I said, slowly decreasing that fat intake, but so that his body doesn't go into withdrawal. So, you know, at nighttime he'll get his seeds, or like in the afternoon, just at least once a day at this point. Before it was twice, before that it was 3 times, but just kind of like weigh it out that way. So make sure that whatever they are eating, you are packing as much nutrients as you possibly can. I will leave a link down below for the prime powder that I personally use. It smells like fruits. They don't really like mind it or taste it. Sometimes they tell you to put it into water, but I tried putting it into water and they really weren't interested in it, so I put it into the chop instead. I'm also doing it to kiwi and mango, because some extra vitamins, minerals, and amino acids never hurt anyways. So I made that all in the morning. So make sure to check out the chop recipe down below. Hopefully that will help you guys out with something. It is fully packed with so many different veggies. I normally make a huge container because my birds prefer a more wet diet. It really helps that I'm able to freeze it, and then when I unfreeze it, like for like the whole month that I make this, it does come out a little like wet, and they really like that. For Australian birds, African birds, Indian birds, you know, they might prefer a drier diet, so maybe they might not like that it comes out like that. They might just want it completely dry. So just work with your bird's diet, just get to know your bird's needs, what vegetables they like, what they like. Be patient with them, just try every single day, especially in the morning. That is the prime time to get them to trying these things out. You guys can also check out my other video about how I convert some other methods to convert them from seeds to pellets. But I did find this was the quickest, most efficient method possible. The crushing of the pellets was wondrous. And even if they don't switch over to the pellets anytime soon, even if you're giving them that chop with that nutrients packed into it, you can give that to them throughout the day if they really enjoy it. It has the pellets, it has the amino acids, it has the minerals, it has the vitamins, so they're getting what they need. They're no longer, you know, deprived of nutrients. Oh, hi. So I hope this video helped you guys if you guys are struggling right now. I know if you guys were asking me on my Instagram how I got Luca to even eat pellets. So I hope this helped clear up a few things. Make sure to hit like if you guys enjoyed this video. Hit subscribe if you want to see more videos of us. Check out our social media links down below. And make sure to check out our website where we have a lot of tons of information that you guys can be looking at. Let me know down below if you have any more questions, any more struggles. Make sure to DM my Instagram and I will help you guys out as fast as I can and give you guys some extra tips and advice that you guys can use. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!